What's up everybody, Punch here, bringing you a new video. Gonna be doing a tips and tricks video today, or more of a knowledge, wisdom based video. I know there's a ton of tips and tricks videos out there, but this is gonna be different than the same old that you see everywhere else. What I want to do is actually commentate myself playing live a game of solo in Blackout, and just give you guys literally every step of the way, you know, every situation that's happening, every gunfight, just commentate it and tell you what's going on inside my head. Because if you're anything like myself, I'm a visual learner, you know, I learn a lot from watching other people play, and I just figured if there was someone, you know, like an advanced player that commentated their gameplay and kind of explained why they were doing the moves they were doing, you know, the little things during gunfights that they were doing, just explaining the little details, it would help put the picture of the pieces of the puzzle together easier. So we're going to hop into a solo here and get it popping. And, you know, just keep in mind, this is based towards beginners or, you know, maybe intermediate players, not so much advanced players. So if you're an advanced player and you're watching this, yeah, it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be obvious to you, but keep in mind, you know, it's based towards beginners, you know, people that maybe have never played Blackout before, or maybe never even a Battle Royale game at all. So, and one other thing, I don't want to get too technical, you know, or I'm probably not going to touch it, really, the technical side of things at all, you know, as far as what guns to use, what attachments to use, what sights to use, you know what I mean? It just turns into a pissing contest because, you know, there's a lot of guns that I like that you guys might not like, or vice versa. You know, there's some people that prefer an extended mag over a fast mag. You know, there's some people that prefer a 3x scope over a ELO sight. You know, it's just, it can go so many different ways, and for the purpose of this video, I want it to be based mainly towards the commentary and, you know, kind of explaining you guys the main stuff, you know, like the situations that are going down, and not spending so much time saying, you know, oh, take that MX9, you know, we're going to take this, but we're not going to take that on it. You know, it's too much. But if you have a technical question and you want to ask me, feel free to shoot it in the comments and I will be happy to answer. You know, it's not something that I want to avoid, but for this video, I'm going to avoid it just so that we're not talking too much during the commentary about the technical side of things. So we're going to look at the mini-map here. And I like to land in areas that are heavily populated off the rip. So we'll probably do Asylum this time just to switch it up. Usually I land firing range, but since Asylum's in the line of fire here, we'll just land Asylum and go from there. And keep in mind, you don't have to land somewhere that's populated. You know, you could land all the way over here at Construction, Nuketown, Array, you know, somewhere that's away from the main drop line. So
Mission area is hot.
Get this,
Weapons free.
so it's kind of out of my face here.
Reloading bay is open. Deploy when ready.
Alright.
Maneuvering on mission deployment path.
So I'm going to drop now. And right away, you'll see I like to hit L2 and then use my right thumbstick to kind of look around, get an idea of how many people are going, where I'm going, you know, how many people are going to be landing here, just so that I know to be looking for people, you know, or kind of have an idea of how many people are going to be here, so I'm not caught with my pants down. So we can tell there's a couple people here, you know, 3 or 4 people landing. So we want to get looted up right away. So there's a guy right here. So we're just going to challenge him right away because, you know, especially when you land, you want to get the drop on people and not give them the time to loot and make it that much harder on yourself to try and kill them. So that's exactly what I did there. Alright, so we know there's another guy here. He sounds like he's upstairs, you know, based off of the mesh mines that were shot. So we're going to be careful here.
Potential collapse
Aim walking's
detected.
always a good thing to do.
Advise relocation to indicated safe zone.
And you can see he walked right in front of us, but He didn't completely catch us off guard because we could hear him up here. So, you know, could still be one other person here. It is blackout. People like to camp. So, you know, just got to be careful. Check all your corners, which you'll see me do here. One thing I wanted to say about bags before we continue is whenever you kill somebody, don't just run straight up to them and just do this and loot around, because if you're out in the open somewhere, you know, outside, there could be somebody that's not even 50 feet away that you don't see, and they will just shoot you in the back, you know. And when you're standing there especially, it's an easy kill. So, I mean, definitely kind of jump around like this, look around, make sure there's nobody else approaching, you know, where the shots were just fired, and then go back and loot. And even when you're looting, I like to use my left thumbstick to kind of strafe back and forth as I'm looting, just so that you're not a stationary target. So just keep that in mind. Can definitely help you out and save you a trip to the loading screen or the search screen. You know, pick up all the ammo. Ammo does not take space in your inventory, so pick it all up, because you never know when you're going to be swapping guns, or, you know, deciding you want to switch. So actually we'll swap these two, since the mob can't use a suppressor. Got a sensor dart. You know, and you'll see I'm only picking up the necessities here. I'm not just picking up every single piece that I see. Because all that'll happen is your inventory is going to fill up with a bunch of junk, and when you really want something, you know, you're going to have to go back through and figure out what you want to delete and or get rid of, and it just takes time, you know. So only pick up the necessities. You know, combat axes, actually great. You know, if you get good with throwing them, I mean, it's an instant kill. It can save you in those situations where you might be red, you know, almost dead, and there's a guy pushing you because he knows you're almost dead, and you just kind of pop out and just boom, you know, hit him. So still kind of checking around, being cautious. So we can hear footsteps over here. So he could have jumped over at this wall at any time. He could be on this side still, you know. We're going to kind of peek. So there he is. He's sitting still. We're going to take a shot at his head. Headshots do so much more damage than body shots. Mainly for the fact that unless you have level 3 armor, you know, his armor does not cover his head. And the little cosmetic helmet that they have on does not protect them at all. So if you can take a shot like that at somebody when they're just standing there, definitely aim at the head first and get a couple shots on the head, because that will drop their armor super quick. And again, we're kind of in a little cutout here, you know. There's not anybody around for me to risk looting and dying. So we hear an ATV. We're gonna switch to our mesh mines because you know, you want to be ready if a vehicle's coming towards you. You don't just want to be caught in the middle of nowhere trying to swap through all of your items here, you know. So we don't see anybody, but still being cautious, still listening. As you can see, I'm running and jumping no matter what. You don't just want to run like this, just straight one direction, or even walking's a huge no-no. You know, always kind of zigzag back and forth when you're running, you know, like this. Slide a little bit, you know, just keep moving, you know, in different ways and shapes, because that's another way to keep yourself from getting popped off. So there goes a vehicle. he doesn't see us, but you know, if he was a little bit closer, we could probably shoot him. So see, he might see us here. I'm gonna shoot at him just for the sake of it. Yeah, we can see his feet. We have grenades, so we're gonna cook a grenade up there. So we can see he jumped down. We have another vehicle coming over here. We're gonna see if we can tag him while also keeping in mind, well, and see. Now we kind of gotta figure out if it's worth it, because this guy jumped down somewhere. You know, you don't want to put yourself in between the gunfire of two other people. So not really sure what happened to that guy. Unless I killed him and I didn't realize it. I thought he might have jumped off of here into the water. Unless he jumped and fell to his death from being, you know, already partly damaged. So, you know, I'm paying attention to the storm line here. So, didn't kill him. Don't know what happened to him.
Supply drop inbound.
He either bailed out or left. Something weird happened, but you know, still running and jumping, moving. So we see a guy right here. You know, burst fire. You know, you don't just full auto fire. So see, he's kind of quicker or closer than we want him to be, so we kind of had to take some damage there to get out of his vantage point. And we're going to push over here. He's going to be expecting us to come up over here somewhere, so we're going to push over here, kind of to the side, and see if we can catch him. I actually don't see him. But still looking, you know. Blackout is just a huge camping zone. There's always somebody sitting by a tree, just chilling, waiting for you to run along, or in a bush. So you got to be very cautious when you're playing. You know, that hence why I say always be running, jumping. You know, don't stand in one place. You can pause every once in a while, like I do, just kind of sit and listen. You know, kind of strafe back and forth, but don't just sit, because that's how you get popped. So that must be him up here. So we have our mesh mines available. So he's going out. I don't know if he sees me or if he's just messing with me or what, but we're just going to let him go. No point in really chasing him down, you know. When people are running from you, most of the time it's better to just let them go. You don't want to chase them and let them lead you into a trap, you know. We already got 5 of those, so dead silence, major perk. Whoops. And so what I'll do, so even if I have 150 health already, usually I'll just pop my traumas anyways, because that extra 50 health can be the difference between staying alive and dying in a gunfight. So we hear gunfire going on up here. So we're gonna push up. Be checking. A lot of the times these little sheds with the garages on them have little crates in them that you can open up and get sensor darts and stuff out of. So see, I'm just listening right now. I don't hear anybody, but looking in between these trees and stuff, I mean, it's vital, because you never know. So here's a guy right here. He doesn't know we're right here, so we're gonna take advantage of him. he's close enough that we can just full auto fire. And I'm being a bot right now. I'm missing my shots. We're going to switch back to our AR and finish him off. So while those guys are down there, we're going to loot him real quick, see if he's got anything to offer. He does. He's got level 3. But we need to heal it real quick, so we're going to pop a consumer. We can just kind of listen, you know, stay strafing. And then pick up the remaining plates. And anything else that we might need still, you know, hit your inventory real quick. We can see that we can use a extended barrel on there, and then something that we also might use. Well, the bag's glitched now, so we're just gonna go.
Sit rep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
So there's a guy right there. He sees us, we see him. Pretty much gonna have to challenge this one just because we have him to the storm either way, so he's gonna have to push to us. So, you know, he's gonna have to push out here. So what we can do is just cook a grenade and make him run to us. You know, he almost actually popped us right there, but we're gonna hit him with another grenade. So because he ate so much health during the storm damage, you know, we were able to play that and just make him come to us. So we know that there was fire going on over here, so I'm kind of migrating over this way. Kind of watching, seeing where people are pushing from. Pausing every once in a while. Don't see anybody, so we're going to keep going. I apologize if I'm jumbling my words at all, or kind of, you know, my shots are a little off. I'm trying to explain to you guys without jumbling while also playing, so it's kind of weird. Alright, so I think we hear somebody behind here. Yeah, so this is a perfect example. There's always storm campers, and right now he's taking a ton of damage, so we can pop him in the storm. See, he was almost dead pretty much. You know, which comes to what I already said. Gotta be listening and ready for stuff like that. It's annoying as shit, but kids do it. They hide in the storms. So the final couple storm circles are approaching here, so I'm just gonna kind of stock up on med kits. I've been trying to focus mainly on these gunfights, so we'll just see if we can pick anything up here. There's only 13 people alive. It's another thing, you know, keep track of how many people are alive still, you know, kind of lets you know how freely you can run around at what point.
Get to safety.
So we still have one sensor dart, but we're going to use it sparingly just because and so now we'll push, and what you can see I'm doing is I'm pushing towards the, okay, we got gunfights up here. I'm pushing towards this small section up here, so we have our back to the storm pretty closely. But I'm also going to use my dead silence now, because we don't want this guy, you know, we're already pushing in the storm. We don't want this guy to hear us. So we're going to get a little bit closer to him, and then we're going to pop him. And now we're getting close enough that we can actually blast him.
Call. Supply drop incoming.
Don't need to loot his bag, you know. You don't want to get caught up on it once it's low enough in the round, because it's just gonna make you mad when you die because you were trying to loot somebody's bag. So, dead silence right there. Unfortunately, don't have time to grab that. So we got another guy right here. We're gonna stay out of his sight until we have to challenge him. Kind of watching on the hill too. And you can see this might be a good target to throwing knife. Actually, we're just gonna pop it. So I want to say I hear somebody behind us again. So what we can do is we're going to grapple the safety here up to the building. Just kind of watch. Because I was creeping along that guy, you know. There could always be somebody creeping behind me.
Be advised. Further collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
And see, my auto aim's kind of pulling somewhere in here, so see that guy, you know. And again, that's a shit, you know, in Blackout that you gotta just really have your eye on, because there's players out there that will do stuff like that.
Sit rep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to
So
safety.
we're gonna go check his bag real quick here. Make sure he doesn't have another dead silence or anything that can help us through the last bit of this. And he doesn't. All good. And so now we still have a skulker. Basically the same thing. So we're going to activate that now as we're pushing towards the circle. We hear a vehicle, so we're switching to our mesh mines, but we also have 3 of these, so we don't want to waste these. And this guy's just kind of trailing here, which is why my mesh mine's out, because if he gets off, we want to be able to kill him. You know, there's a guy up here. We can probably pop. You can see I just kind of burst firing him. We got another guy here. Take advantage of the storm.
Further collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
So he got out. It's clear. We're gonna spray at him. We're gonna push him. He's weak. That's the game. So, you know, it's really just playing smart. You know, you can see I really didn't go balls to the walls. This game is more just like I wanted to demonstrate to you guys just how effective playing smart is, and just playing Battle Royale the way it should be played. So nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, again, this is all live. This is no commentary. This is why I wanted to do it live. It's just to show you my raw thoughts and feel, you know, for doing this, approaching gunfights, everything. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the comments, and I will respond to you and get your questions answered. But nonetheless, thank you for viewing, and hope you enjoyed.